Hello, it's Cisvolk. Time to enjoy card making with me. Today I will show you what you can do with these nesting stitched heart dies. These dies have stitches on both sides, so you can use both the heart and the negative impression. I'm working with these shaker elements. I've used them before on another card. I also use the different shades of archival ink and I use the text with the corresponding banner dies. This text I have stamped with ink suitable for embossing and white embossing powder from Aliexpress. The two stamps contain a lot of texts that are suitable for Valentine's Day, but also for other occasions. Each stamp has its own banner die. It turned out to be a very long video, but it's definitely worth watching. I show you different techniques and different possibilities to create beautiful Valentine cards, from difficult to very easy. But even if you don't make Valentine cards, you will still get some ideas and lots of tips and tricks. All the products I used can be found via the links in the text below this video. Click on More to open the text field. Here I quickly show you some of the texts that I have stamped, embossed and die cutted. There are many more, but here I am only showing you the texts that I've left and that are suitable for Valentine cards. You could also stamp or emboss them with red ink or red embossing powder or gold or silver, of course. For my first card I start by taking a red panel. This panel is 1 cm shorter and half a centimeter narrower than my card. I align the panel on the right side of the card. This way you can see that my panel shows a half centimeter of white card on all sides, except for the right side. And I take the largest heart and place it over the edge of the card. Then I take the fourth size heart and place it inside the large heart. Now I've run these two panels through the die cutting machine at the same time. Look what a sharp print! With this I'm going to make a seamless shaker card. I use plastic bags for this. You could use the plastic bags that the Alina products come in. A shame to throw them away, isn't it? I have a plastic bag here that I keep my cards in. And this one is new and smooth. You put it with the edge equal to the edge of the card. For this card I put the foil on top of the card. Then I draw around the heart with a permanent marker, about 1 cm from the edge. Not too far and not too close. Cut this out and then stick it on with double-sided tape. This is 3 mm tape from Aliexpress. Here you see the 6 mm tape. It's available in different thicknesses. I like to use this double-sided tape. It sticks firmly and it's much nicer for sticking foil than working with glue. Run your finger or better a bone folder over it to press it down properly. Stick the plastic with the closed edge onto the outer edge of the card. I usually leave a piece of backing from the tape in place and only pull it off when the foil is exactly in the right place. You can see that it's still double-sided. I use ordinary adhesive tape to secure the top layer of foil, but not all of it. You can see that a kind of bag has been created, of which the top is still open. I now fill this with the shaker elements. Now I can close the other openings with adhesive tape. Make sure that the outer white edge remains free, as this half a centimeter will not be covered by the red panel. I then attach the red panel with double-sided tape. It's handy that you can stick the narrow tape around the heart. If you leave some of the protective film attached, it's easier to stick the panel in the right place. Now I use the inner two hearts. I want to stick a nice Valentine text on the hearts. Please note that I am not throwing away the rest of the panel yet. The text for the outside is on black paper with white embossing powder. I stick this on the white heart with dimensional foam tape. The text for the inside is on white paper with black ink and transparent embossing powder. I stick the white heart with the text on it on the front, which gives a nice contrast. And as a surprise and a nice finishing touch, I glue the red heart on the inside of the card. Finally, I attach the text on top of the card using thin double-sided tape, exactly so that it covers the text banner on the front of the card. You can leave it as is or decorate it further to your personal taste. I stick the sending love on top of it. Every card needs an envelope. I show you two possibilities. If you hand over the card, or if you don't need to write an address on it, you can stick this leftover heart on the envelope. As I want to send it by regular mail, I'm going to use the leftover heart to ink the envelope. For this I'm going to use the archival ink from Alina's shop, color Rosy. You can see that with such a brush you can blend beautifully and you can even see the stitching of the die. I later ink blended on top of this color with the carmine color of Camera to match the paper better. Isn't it cool, such a seamless shaker card? I will show you another way to make the same card, but in a different way. I really like the surprise on the inside and the fact that it's a shaker card with such sweet parts in it. For my first card I used the largest heart, and for this second card I'm using the second size. And I use the fourth size again for the other heart. Place them on the panel in the same way again. This time I use the red panel to stick on the inside of the card. So for this card I do not stick the foil on the front of the card but on the inside. Cutting it out and sticking it on is the same. I will show it again. Line up the plastic, mark it, cut it out, but leave one side and the bottom side closed. Stick the panel with double-sided tape. Stick the plastic to the panel with a nice edge aligned to the side. Stick the bottom part with ordinary adhesive tape. Fill the shaker. And seal it again with ordinary adhesive tape. My panel was die cut inside out. I don't mind using it that way. If you want it with the nice side out, you should just die cut the white paper first and use that to trace over the red paper. Then die cut the red paper separately by laying the die cuts on the traced shape. I will show this later in the video with a smaller heart. So I glue the panel to the inside of the card to finish off the seamless shaker nicely. And I had a nice plan to cut out an extra small red heart from the red paper on the inside, but unfortunately I forgot to do so. I'm now sticking a white heart on top to finish it off. My fourth size red heart now goes on the front and the white heart on the inside. For this card I am using the text "All you need is love." I think this is such a beautiful font. By using my T-ruler, I am sure that I will stick it on straight. Here I show you what the inside of the panel would look like if you cut out a heart. It's cool that the stitching is done on both sides of the heart. The heart goes on the envelope with a matching text. What do you think of this seamless shaker technique? Once you have done it, it's not difficult at all. I have blended this envelope with 2 colors of red on top of each other. You can see that it looks nicer and matches the cardstock better. Stay tuned or save the video and watch it again later, because I'm going to show you a way to use this beautiful heart die for a technique that you could even do with the kids. Actually, this video is in 3 parts, but I was in such a creative mood I couldn't stop and I would like to share everything with you. But first I show you these 2 cards that I made earlier and that I also used the same shaker bits for. Click on the card in the top right corner or click on the link in the description below the video to watch that video too. For the following technique I use foam. Alina sells them in different colors, but in this case the color doesn't matter. Cut out a heart from a square. When you die cut foam, make sure you only run it through the machine once. A piece of foam is very good for stamping. And this technique is very quick and fun to do with children. You can use all your dies for stamping this way. Stick the foam on a clear block with some double-sided adhesive tape. You can easily remove this after use. I take half a sheet of A4 paper. I used 220 gram DCP printer paper and folded it in half. The archival ink from Alina is perfect for stamping on this smooth paper. It is quite juicy. Here you see the colors rosy, carmine and clove grass. I start by stamping the lightest color, clove grass, an old rose color. It doesn't matter if you stamp exactly on a line or crookedly. It's actually the most fun and easiest way to stamp hearts crisscross. As soon as you start trying to keep everything exactly at a certain distance, you will notice if it's not right. For this second card, I show you that you can also get nice prints with 1 inking and 4 stampings. The first print is very dark and the next ones become lighter. This is also a nice effect. I wipe my foam clean on a scrap of paper and continue with the second color. This is carmine, a bright orange-red color. With this card I ink my stamp with every print. And I stamp randomly over the card. Don't forget to clean your work surface in between, or put a scrap of paper underneath, so that the back of your card stays nice and clean. For this card I ink once and stamp about 4 times. You see I also stamp over the edges, so that you get a nicer hole. And I also stamp over the previous hearts. I like the fact that you can even see the stitched lines in the stamp. I leave enough white space. The third shade of red that I use is called Rosy. This is a brown-red color. When drying, the ink may change color slightly. This ink is very juicy. I slip a little with a stamp. I can hide it later behind a die-cut heart. I am also going to stamp on the envelope. To mask an edge, I use Alina's masking tape. I have cut a strip here. It's hard to get off and super sticky. I pry it loose with a needle and I treat my paper with my embossing pouch that has talcum powder in it. This way it's easier to remove the tape without tearing it. I use the lines on my work mat to stick the tape straight on. If you don't have such a work mat, you can also use a checkered piece of paper, of course. I took out the ink again and stamp in the same way as I did on the cards. Don't forget to wipe the stamp on the scrap piece of paper and stamp over the edges. You can see that the talcum powder makes the tape easy to peel off, and you can certainly use it again on the next envelope. I also powder the next envelope with talcum powder. I also powder the next envelope with talcum powder. And reuse the masking washi tape for this one. The ink on the tape is still wet. It still needs to be wiped clean. I wipe over the tape with a tissue so that I can press it a bit and wipe away the excess ink. If I let it dry, I could also use this masking tape to make my own washi tape in any desired size and width. How cool is that? The video is accelerated, of course, but you can see how quickly and easily you can stamp with foam and a beautiful die. How nice it would be to play with the children to make a nice Valentine's card for Grandma and Grandpa. The washi tape can easily be stuck back onto the original backing. It is ready to be used again another time. I wipe the piece of foam clean and I can easily pull it to remove it from the clear block. The piece of double-sided tape is also very easy to remove. I'm going to reuse the piece of foam and cover both sides with double-sided tape. I use the 4th and 5th size of heart dies to cut out red hearts. The foam that I used for stamping, I am now using to glue the red hearts raised. I die cutted an extra one for the other heart. The card base is still wet. Be careful not to leave any fingerprints or smudges. I speed up the drying process with my heat tool. To make the card more playful, I add some stripes to the edges with a permanent fine liner. To do this, I first put dots in the corners of the card and draw lines between them. I deliberately do not draw the lines straight, so that it is not noticeable if they are crooked. Hold the paper still and work from your shoulder and elbow, pulling your whole arm backwards. This is the easiest way to draw a long line in one go without any hiccups. I deliberately do not let the second line run over the first one. I also draw lines on the envelope. Very easy to do and it matches the card nicely. The die-cut hearts go on the card and hopefully hide any mistakes in stamping, like my dark heart that I slipped on. I can hardly decide which text to stick on it. There is so much choice. The Hug You Tight fits so nicely with the heart in it. Sticking it straight is always difficult, especially with such a busy background. A T-ruler can sometimes help. For the finishing touch, I put stripes on the hearts with a white gel pen. This way it looks as if there are glimmers on them and as if the hearts are jumping to the front. I also use the remaining piece of foam. You know, I'm very frugal, so I also want to use this piece of foam. I have already tried it out on my scrap. I use all 3 colors of ink to ink the foam. I try to prevent the previous color of ink from getting on the ink pad. I blend the transition between 2 colors with my blending brush. I also have the brushes from Alina. I stamp the envelope. You can see that the ink flows smoothly into each other. There are, of course, many different patterns to stamp. How about this way, where I stamp them underneath each other? And again I put lines around them. In this case, it also helps to hide the fact that I stamped my square a bit crooked. And again 3 cards finished. But stay tuned, I am not finished yet. I'm combining the 2 previous techniques for a final card. Do you like my cards and my videos? Then please subscribe to my channel Cisvolk. You will find all my videos there together, and this helps me to keep making more YouTube videos. For my last card, I made a seamless shaker again. I put the foil on the front of the card. I now use the negative foam stamp to stamp on the front of the red panel. You can see that it is very easy and that the dark red clove grass ink stamps perfectly over the red paper. Skipped pieces I blend with the blending brush. This time I used the 4th and 6th size hearts at the same time to die cut them. Doesn't that look sweet? The word sweet fits right in. Here I show you how to make a second die cut exactly like this for the back. This one is symmetrical, so it doesn't matter. But if the die had not been symmetrical, I would have had to put the white one upside down. I trace the image with a thin pencil so that I can see exactly where I need to place the dies to get a duplicate. I stick the hearts on the card again, one on the front and one on the inside. You see, the white heart covers the exact spot where the stamp was not perfectly straight. Handy, eh? For the finishing touch, I use the white gel pen again. This time I put white dots in the hearts. It gives a very sweet polka dot effect. And another card is ready. All the products I've used are available in Alina Crafts shop. The link to the shop and the products can be found in the description below this video. Sometimes you have to click on the word more to see them. Here you can see all the cards in a row. I think that if I had the time, I could make many more, but I will move on to other things to inspire you and give you new ideas. I'm very happy that you like my videos and leave a comment. Please also become a subscriber of my own YouTube channel Cisvolk. It would be so nice to reach more people with my videos. I hope you will have a nice day and hopefully receive a Valentine card yourself maybe. Thank you and enjoy card making with me. See you next time. Bye bye.